Feels so strange. I see the children round the tree at Christmas as their goodwill and presents exchange. What is this mystery, this vision that I see when it's Christmas on the range? What is this mystery, this vision that I see when it's Christmas on the range? Thank you all very much. Thank you. Well, it's pretty obvious that Gene Autry loved Christmas. He had tons of Christmas songs that he would perform and stuff. And every year in California, during his career, they had the Rose Parade, and he would be at the head of the Rose Parade, and he would hear all the kids, "Here's Gene Autry, it's Gene." And then as years went by, and Santa Claus was always on the fire truck at the end of the parade. And one year, some guy decided he would kind of change it up. So they had Gene Autry, who was a little older, so he was riding in a convertible. And then they had the mayor of the town waving from a convertible, and then Santa Claus. And all Gene Autry heard through the whole parade was, "Here comes Santa Claus! Here comes..." Did Gene Autry get mad? No. He got home, he called his songwriting buddy and said, "Got an idea, come on over to the house." 3 weeks later, they released, "Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Big Santa Blitzen and all the reindeer pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Hang your stockings, say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's full of toys for boys and girls again. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. Jump in bed, cover up your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's full of toys for boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle jangle, all is merry and bright. Jump in bed, cover up your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He'll come around when the chimes ring out, it's Christmas time again. Peace on earth will come to all if you just follow the light. So let's give thanks to the Lord above, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. All right, so everybody always has questions, so here are the answers. His name is Dusty. He's a boy. I got him when he was 2. He's 15 years old now. I started doing shows when he was 3, little campfire shows when he was 3. He's a quarter horse. You know what that means, don't you? Ride him for 10 minutes, put in another quarter, ride 10 more. Okay, since you like that one so much, his dad was a paint, his mom was a Pinto. He's black and white, so I had him registered as an Oreo. Actually, his real name is JB's Montana Sky. And when horses have a name like that, a lot of times it's the whole bloodline thing. That's how you get it. And when I got him, the woman who owned him just before, she owned him for about 6 months before I got him. She gave him the name Terre Haute. Don't ask me. I don't know. I didn't ask. But when I get a horse and I don't know what to call it, I work with it. I start training it, and I don't have a ton of them. But I always look at them and I watch them, and I figure out a characteristic or something about them that you can use for a name. Every time we're done training, done with a show, done whatever, he's got a favorite spot in the corral. He walks over, he paws 3 times on his back, and he scratches it, and then the legs flop over and he scratches it, then he flops over and he scratches it. He does that about 5 times. He stands up, he shakes, and he is Dusty. So that's why we call him Dusty. That's a true story. It really is. Well, it was in a few cowboy movies. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas. And when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. I'd ask you to sing along, but most of you are reading, and I just don't want to watch that. Have a holly jolly Christmas, it's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, ho, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, kiss her once for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Oh by golly, have a holly jolly
Jamie.
Christmas this year.
I watched you walk all the way around the building.
I know. You saw me?
We're gonna get you. I'm gonna
Yeah,
come down. We're gonna
I thought you said you saw me, so.
I'm sorry.
Don't fret. It's okay. City sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas. People passing, children laughing, meeting smile after smile. And on every street corner, you hear silver bells, silver bells. It's Christmas time in the city. Hear them ring.
We are now.
Soon it will be Christmas Day. City stoplights, even stoplights, blink of bright red and green as the shoppers rush home with their treasures.
Dusty just goes wherever he wants.
Yeah, I guess so.
And on every street corner you hear silver bells, silver bells.
I don't know, maybe he wants a donut.
Hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Thank you. I lost my place in the song only because Dusty started walking forward.
Now he is.
And the reason he started walking, as long as the pastries and stuff were over there and nobody touched them, the smell stayed over there, but now that people are walking around, oh, smell sweet.
That's why.
No goodies. No, you'll get goodies in a minute.
I just said, I think he wants a donut.
Yeah, I think he wants a donut.
You better watch out. Better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows if you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you'd better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Hooty toot toot, rummy tum tum, little toy flutes and little toy drums. Santa Claus is coming to town. The kids and girl and boy land
He's getting
will
closer.
have a jubilee. They're gonna build a toyland town all around the Christmas tree. Oh, you'd better watch out. You better not cry, better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming to town. Walk faster, walk faster.
Yeah, I know, right?
I have to. Now, Dusty is the second horse that I've done this with.
Yeah.
My original horse's name is Steel. He's 27 years old. I allowed him to retire a while back, and though in the last year and a half, both Steel and Dusty together did Wild West Days Parade up in Cave Creek and Parada del Sol last year.
Oh.
They did them together.
That's
and,
cool.
And so Steel still gets out and does some stuff, but. Sitting here watching this little kid go by, there used to be a retirement nursing home down in Phoenix called Arizona Star. It recently closed up. And I don't know, 12, 13 years ago, they had us over for a Western barbecue. So they've got all these elderly folks and they're eating their dinners and stuff and so on. They got there. And this little lady, she had to be 85, 88 years old.
Oh, wow.
She's shuffling by in front of Steel. And she had not eaten her watermelon.
Funny.
And Steel just went, and he just grabbed that piece of watermelon. I mean, just juicy and slobbering all over the place. And all the little folks went, oh, was he want mine too? All these folks are over there feeding Steel. I'm like, okay, I'm never going to get him to do any tricks or nothing today.
That's funny.
But yeah, fun, tons of fun stories. Now with Dusty, one of my favorite stories about Dusty was a rehab center out in Mesa that we go to. It's called Mikasa, and Dusty's been going there about 8 years. And we go about every other month. And for the folks who can get out of bed, they come to the activities room. We do like a half-hour show for them. And then those folks who can't get out of bed, we actually go down the hall and into each individual room. I get off Dusty, and he just walks into the rooms, and he's smiling.
Oh, that's funny.
That's funny.
So for a while there was this about 6-8 months, there was this 92-year-old lady there. And every time we'd go into her room, she'd go, "It's my boyfriend Dusty, come here, I want to play with you." Now, of course, I'm sure you've all been to these places. The activities directors are always taking tons of pictures of everything that goes on so they can show that. So I go walking in with Dusty one month, and here's an 8x10 color glossy of her and Dusty on the wall right next to her bed. And I looked at John, the activities director, and I said, "Oh, look, it's a boyfriend-girlfriend picture." And he said, "No, I had to put that up there." And I said, "What do you mean you had to?" He said, "Because last time you were here, 2 days later, daughter comes in, visits with mom for about 5 minutes, comes running down to the nurse's station. 'You've got to adjust my mother's medication. She thinks there's been a horse in her room.'" True story. So now every time we go, if we've been there the month before, pictures on the wall.
That's funny.
Okay, so now Dusty does a lot more than just stand here and hold me up. And
Hi, Dusty.
you want to show them how smart you are? I'm sorry, Mom says don't talk with your mouth full. I'm sorry. Here, let me take all this stuff off.
I like it. Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's
Yes.
better.
Now, whatever you do, everybody be nice and quiet. Because if somebody stands up and goes, yeah, giddy up, yeah, go, he might run away. So don't. Just me. Do you want something to eat? Do you want something to eat? Do you? Do you want something to eat? Do you? Do you want?
He's checking.
All right, I know you're checking my hand.
He's checking your
I
hand.
have a carrot. I have a carrot. You want a carrot? No. You don't want a carrot?
He wants a
What, you
donut.
want an apple? You want an apple. You don't want a carrot. You want the apple. You sure? How about pizza? They got some cake over there. You want cake? You want cake? You want an apple. You sure? Want me to go look?
That's funny.
All I have is carrots. Will that be okay? You sure? A carrot will be fine? All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, of course, we live up in Cave Creek, and we've got 3 other horses. Steel, my original horse, his half-brother Casper, and Chicote. And so these guys all hang out. They've seen all the animals in the desert and stuff. You like all the desert animals? Do you like them all? No, but you like the birds and the bunnies. You don't like the snakes. And you don't like the javelina. No. Now, I took you to the zoo. Remember your trip to the zoo? Yeah.
Yes. Aww.
I took him to the zoo. This was great. Can you make any sounds of animals? You can't do the elephant. You can't do the lion. Remember the flamingo standing in the river? You do? All right, well, show me a flamingo on one leg in the river. Flamingo on one leg in the river, everybody.
That was cute.
And the giraffe. Remember seeing the giraffe? Is your neck as long as a giraffe?
No.
But you saw him eat out of the tree. Can you show me how he does? All right, show me a giraffe eating out of the tree.
Come on. Come on.
There you go, a giraffe eating out of the tree.
That's cool.
I have no idea if he'll do this. Because normally I throw it this way and I don't want to hit that lady.
Yeah, I don't want to hit.
But we have dogs at the house. Do they bark? Do they bark at you? Do they bite at you? You play tricks with games with them. They taught you tricks, right? Can you fetch? Wait, can you fetch? No, can you fetch? You can fetch. You can't roll over. Can you roll over? Can you sit? But you can fetch. You want to try the fetching trick over the grate? Promise? Okay, here we go. I'll throw the carrot. You go find it, okay? Here we go. Ready? Go find the carrot. Go on. Go find it. It's okay. Go over the grate. Come on.
Go that way.
He sees something else he wants.
Go over the grate.
Go over that way.
All right, I tell you what.
Go get it.
I'll throw the carrot. Go find it. Oh, gee, he found his carrot. Yay!
I think orange.
Under his tail was a poo-poo bag.
Oh,
Right, say poo-poo bag.
poo-poo bag.
Poo-poo bag. Hey.
I said it.
Dan says you can say it. It's okay.
Say it. Come on.
If he say poo-poo bag, is he gonna get yelled at? So he can say poo-poo bag. Say poo-poo bag.
Poo-poo bag.
See, nobody's gonna get yelled at. Now you live on a poo-poo bag, right? Are you allowed to poo-poo here on the property? No. Do you know how to hold your poo-poo? Do you? That's why you wear a poo-poo. But if you have to go pee-pee, show me how to hold your pee-pee.
That's
Everybody. Okay, so this next joke is probably the worst joke I do.
He's following you.
But he's 15 years old. He's been doing this with me for 12 years. He knows every word to every song, and he really wants to sing along, but he can't. You know why?
Because he's a horse.
He's just a little horse. I told you it was the worst joke I
His
do.
voice is
Why would I
hoarse.
lie? But I taught him how to play some guitar so we could go, I'm getting there. Hold on. Happy trails to you till we meet again. You got him one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, Dusty. He's the only horse that I honestly know will stand and watch fireworks.
Oh, wow.
He'll stand there and watch fireworks.
That's cool.
And I actually learned that by accident. We were doing a corporate event, and the first half of the event was outdoors. Then I put Dusty in the trailer, and we all went indoors and we were doing stuff. And then somebody said, okay, we're going outside for the last part. And so all of us started tearing stuff down in the ballroom. And I heard the first firework go off. And I'm like, he's never seen fireworks. Oh, because my original horse, Steel, he would have kicked out the walls of the trailer and he would have been in Tucson. So I go running out, I run out to the trailer, and here's Dusty with his head out that little door going, cool. Cool. He was just standing there watching.
That's cool.
So I 4th of July, the next 4th of July, I rode him up into Cave Creek, and we stood there and we watched the fireworks. He's like, these are so cool, Dad. And I came up with the character Cowboy Claus, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. It's a lot of fun. Christmas is honestly my favorite holiday, not only for the gift-giving part of it, but for the religious part of it too. And so I came up with this character, and the Museum of the Cave Creek found out that he does Christmas shows.
Oh, wow.
So for the last 12 years, I've been riding Dusty into the Cave Creek Museum doing a Christmas show. And actually this Sunday, we'll be doing it again.
Oh, wow. Where at?
And so we go in, and Dusty loves that show because the kids always make him cookies with icing on them.
Oh. Like the icing.
Dusty, you know the good stuff. Yeah.
But years ago, I started thinking, you know, as a cowboy going in to do a museum, it's a Western museum thing, and so on and so forth. And so I keep looking and keep looking and look. So I started writing a song. And I finished writing the song. It took me about a month and a half to write the song.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote the song, and I put it on a tape, and I sent it to my sister, and she said, 8.5 minutes is just way too long. Nobody's going to sit through that. It's a good song. It's a great story, but no. So she said, you should do it as a poem. And I said, okay.
Oh.
So that next Christmas, I read it to the family as we were at Christmas dinner. After dinner was over, during dessert, I read this to them. And then I sent it out to Tape Publishing, and they picked it up. And you all have a copy. A cowboy headed home on Christmas Eve after a long day of shopping for treasures, hoping the saddlebag full of gifts would bring their intended pleasures. This rider and horse were mighty tired, but their excitement kept them going. When the sky opened up and little white flakes started the holiday snowing. The bitter cold wind slapped their faces, and the cowboys' cheeks turned red. The snowflakes were getting mighty thick, and it was harder to see up ahead. This joyful night had turned around, and the wind had gotten stronger. It appeared their easy, short ride home was going to get a little bit longer. He started to wonder if they'd make it home, so he tipped his head to pray. Dear Lord above, please keep us safe and help us find our way. As he said amen and opened his eyes, the night was quiet and still. Then suddenly, there was a thundering crash, and it gave his spine a chill. Without thinking of what might be wrong, he turned his horse to that sound.
Right there.
In a thicket of old pine trees, there was stuff strewn all around.
That's funny.
There were boxes big and boxes small, all wrapped with the greatest care. Some had ribbons and some had bows. Just how did they get there? He saw unwrapped toys and a bike or two all scattered in the snow, and where did all these things come from, and where was it all to go? Scratching his head, looking around, he was trying to figure this out. Am I just seeing a vision? And then he heard a shout. Hey there, cowboy! I'm stuck up here and I've got to be on my way. It seems I've clipped a really tall tree and I've fallen out of my sleigh. Up in the tree on a branch sat a white-bearded guy in a bright red suit. Are you okay? The cowboy asked as this fellow squirmed and wiggled. He must have known how funny he looked, so he laughed until he jiggled. The cowboy jumped off his horse, climbed up the tree to help him down. His eyes opened wide. The cowboy looked shocked. His breath, it took a pause. The jolly old elf looked straight at him and said, Yes, I'm Santa Claus. They looked around at the mess on the ground, and they made a really deep sigh. Santa saw the gifts were everywhere, and the reindeer were strolling around, and when he finally found his sleigh, it was turned upside down. I got to gather my reindeer, wrap my sleigh, and refill my sack. We've toiled all year, now there's only one night. I've got to get this job on track. I can't stand around. I've got a lot to do. I should be out there delivering joys. You know, it's a real tight schedule to see every good girl and boy. This is the worst situation a Claus has ever been in. I'll never be able to collect up all these gifts and upright my sleigh again. He looked at Santa, shot him a grin, and said, You've got a cowboy with you tonight. Just settle down. I'll fix this up. I know we're going to make this right. He whistled to his horse, watched him kick and buck as he trotted up to his side. He put his foot into the stirrup and grabbed the reins and got ready to ride. He twirled his rope and lassoed that sleigh and popped it over with a mighty pull. Then he roped each gift, tossed it in the sack, and cinched it up when it was full. Now the horse knew just what to do, so he herded those reindeer quick, and as soon as you please, they were hitched to the sleigh that was ready now for old St. Nick. Santa gave out a laugh, slapped his leg, saying, Cowboy, I'm so amazed. By golly, son, you've got the job done. Now Christmas is almost saved. Now I really hate to ask you this, but could you ride with me tonight? With my reindeer driving and your cowboy skills, we could get her done tonight. The cowboy said yes. Just let me tell my family so they won't worry and cry. Santa sprinkled everything with magic dust and they all started to fly. This crazy team of Cowboy and Claus, they rode all through the night, stopping at houses, delivering gifts, and getting the job done right. The sun was rising. They were heading home. Santa led them safely on their way. He looked at the cowboy, shook his hand, saying, Partner, you saved the day. He said, Years ago, I learned the gift of giving from a child born in a manger. Now it appears to me you know the grace of God, and to Jesus you are no stranger. I'm an old Greek who cares for others, so my giving is not a trick. Some folks call me Santa Claus, but I was first known as Saint Nick. That year, a cowboy helped Santa Claus. It happened in late December. That was how I met Santa Claus. It's a day I'll always remember. This is a time to share what we have. I can read it in 5.5 minutes, but if I do all the music, it's 8.5. Someday I am going to record it, but anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.